fucking with me, don't start talking about me.
So I did my homework here, but I want you to tell me, who is Alex Vaughn?
I love this question. Alex Vaughn is a lighthearted but slightly awkward individual trying to figure out how to embrace her emotions and celebrate them. And I do that through song. I want all of my music and everything that I exude to give the vibes of I am figuring it out myself. And this journey of figuring it out can be an exciting one, not a painful one. I just want to rip the Band-Aid off and get to the bottom of how to get to that next tier without tearing myself down. So everything's all about just elevating and enlightenment, but in the most fun way. And I want everybody to feel that with me.
I love that. I love how you talk about these things. Like, we're here to talk about the new version of the Hurtbook. You got some deep lyrics, but I love how you talk about this being fun as well. And I've heard artists talking about weird places where they like to write, like in a bathtub, closets. Do you have a special weird place like this, or somewhere you wrote any of these songs on this album?
I wouldn't say a special weird place, but I think there's some sort of weird psychology of when I can't create where I feel the most creative. As long as I have my phone with me, like I could be on an airplane, I could be in the bathroom, I could be driving, it just doesn't matter what's going on. Like if it pops in my mind, I just write it down on my phone. But it's usually when I'm not in the studio. I mean, I can write in the studio, but it's usually when I am furthest from a studio.
Cool. It's like something natural, right? The idea pops and you gotta go for it.
Yeah, it's like, when you know that you can't go to a bathroom, when you have to go to the bathroom really bad, it's kind of like that kind of psychology.
I just recently got into your music, and I get why So Be It is like the most popular song. Besides being the opener, I also read that it is your favorite song from the album. So can you tell us more about the feelings described on this track and what you learned from them?
So this song was about, making peace with just like letting go of relationships that have to be let go of. Sometimes endings aren't bad and it's not always stemmed from a big argument. It's just kind of like life kind of moving and you just follow on the course. It wasn't about a romantic relationship when I created the song. It was about one of my closest friendships. I wanted to be mad and upset at the situation, but I wasn't. That was probably the biggest relationship change or breakup I'd ever experienced. So I couldn't not talk about it. And when I started writing about it, I didn't realize that, I wasn't the only person experiencing this sort of friendship shift. It just needed to be talked about. We have to recreate boundaries, but it's still from a place of love. And I didn't want the song to be too slow or dragged out because this isn't a sad thing. At the end of the day, we still got to keep it moving. We got to just make adjustments. We got to, pivot, move forward. So be it.
It's been a hard time adjusting, so be it.
The music video is pretty much you and your friends on the road, then at an amusement park. And I feel like those rides and roller coasters kind of create the image of what you're feeling. And the video goes until you're so done at the end of the car, at the end of the song. So how important are visuals to your songs, to create? What's your view on this?
I think visuals are super important to me, and that's why I don't have but so many out right now. I want to make sure, it properly tells a story and still feels authentic and comfortable to myself, but still a little bit elevated or just a little bit more stretched and dramatic, just to show that it doesn't matter what the characters look like if we all have blue faces or wings, the scenarios are the same, the feelings are the same, and the journey's the same. I'm excited to really dive in and do more visuals for more music in the future.
So in the meantime, I was reading the comments to the music video, and a lot of them were talking about you being the next star, a lyrical genius, and deserving to be on the big league. So with the R&B scene getting bigger every day, do you tend to overthink on comments like this? How do you feel when you open a music video, something you worked so hard on, and you see this kind of feedback?
I'll be honest, very seldom do I go through the comments. I might take a quick glance, maybe once or twice throughout the entire span of the video being out, just because I want to make sure that I protect my brain and my relationship with myself because I'm already working through it. I appreciate, people's support, and I appreciate people's opinion and people even wanting to give feedback at all. But I try to just protect my mental and protect my mind in my space with stuff like that. I have plenty of conversations with myself that I make sure get checked.
So to write the first album, I feel like the artist kind of has their whole life to talk about. But when it comes to a sophomore album, there's a lot of more pressure and it's kind of the second step after introducing yourself. The meaning of like, okay, this is what I'm writing about, on deciding, how was the process of wrapping your head around and starting to create the Hurtbook?
It was at first it was pretty simple because before the project became what it is now, it had already been finished. So I kind of already knew the direction I wanted to go in. But of course, once I fully committed to the topic being the Hurtbook and the subject matter being the Hurtbook, that's when the real like unpeeling process began. That is when it really began. And then the kind of the stories would start writing themselves. There were some older songs that made it onto the project, and I felt like I was removed from some of the conversations that I was having, but then life just started bringing them back to the forefront. I feel like things just kind of fall into place the way they are supposed to.
So on this deluxe version, you have collabs such as Muni Long, Summer Walker, Ari Lennox, which are big breakthrough names. So how is it to have not only one, but three important R&B personalities in your album?
It's a super honor. I'm new in this, sign artist space, and you can naturally overthink and feel like, do I fit in this space, or do other people see me? To know that three women that I totally admire, with their craft and outside of music, to give me a stamp. I appreciated it. And to just get their insight and perspective on the records that they did remixes on, it just kind of showed that R&B can still exist and we can still coexist. We're not alone feeling these feelings, and no matter what stage you're in your life or career or whatever, like we still are humans and experience human emotion. And I appreciated that. I appreciate them getting on this project. It's a huge deal.
No need for you to hesitate.
So you opened for Ari Lennox on tour.
Yes.
I saw there were a lot of dates, and it was your first tour, and there were a lot of sold out dates. Was it challenging to you? Like, did this tour give you a kind of insight of where you want to be as a headliner in the near future?
Oh, 100%. The only thing that I would say was super challenging was probably just the way that I would talk to myself and treat myself on the road. In reality, like, we're doing the same things every single night. So in my head, I was starting to get bored or start to think that this set is boring or people are tired of it. And I think, instead of being upset or ashamed about those thoughts, it kind of like challenged me to figure out how to keep myself excited or to really embrace this new relationship with my music on the road. I love performing. I love new crowds. It was inspiring to go on stage right before Ari Lennox as she's selling out every single venue. All I was doing was, just taking it in and just seeing how she was working her crowd and really just envisioning how I'm going to work my own when I have a headlining tour. I love sold out crowds. I like the way that feels. I like jumbotrons. I like new cities. I like new dollar bills. I like stuff like that. That was the best tour experience I could have ever asked for, and I'm excited for more of them.
Do you have like a special tour memory that you won't forget? Something like maybe even a small moment, like a cool memory from the tour.
We were in Phoenix, Arizona. It was the second stop of tour. I had never been to Arizona. The population is like different from any population I have ever grown up in. It's another sold out crowd, but lots of people in the crowd don't know who I am. So, I'm just singing songs and just hoping people are willing to discover me, right? In my set, I have one song that I wrote in 2015. So like, it's just a super old song. It was on SoundCloud. And when I was singing the song, there was a girl in the front row singing every single word. She was singing word for word in the front row. And luckily someone was able to get it on camera. That was probably the most fond memory, because that's like super, super old record of mine, and to know that people were even checking for me and following my journey in places that I've never even stepped foot in, it was a huge testament to just everything.
So I have it's my last question. Do you know anything about Brazil?
I don't know anything about Brazil outside of the fact that I really want to go. Rio de Janeiro is the capital, right?
Brasilia, actually.
Oh, okay, right. I know about bossa nova and Brazilian jazz. I had to learn about that in college. There is an opera that I had to learn in college, Mana de Carnaval, and there's a song that I really like on there. And I would love to sing a Brazilian song with it.
Oh, you should. You should. A lot of artists have been releasing songs influenced by bossa nova, and then they come to Brazil, like Billie Eilish did, saying Billie Bossa Nova. It was a super cool moment, special for us. And I hope to see you here soon. To wrap it up, do you want to send a message inviting people to get to know your music?
If you're looking for some good feel-good R&B and you're trying to tap into your superpowers, you're trying to get into that next tier of your life, but you don't know how and you don't know why, listen to Alex Vaughn. You can find all my music by typing in Alex Vaughn. You can follow me on all social media by typing in Alex Vaughn. The Hurtbook is out now. Hurtbook Deluxe. Homegirl Pack is out now. Homegirl Voice Notes is out now. All my music is out now, and there's so many great things on the way, and I hope you stay tuned for it.